Hello, everyone. I'm Michael Rosh, and I just wanted to take a few moments to talk about the tragic, untimely death of Michael Brooks. Many of you on the left, particularly, will probably know him as a co host on The Majority Report, the host of his own show, The Michael Brooks Show, and the show Weekends on the weekend, which he co hosted with Anna Kasparian on the Jacobin Network. Um, Michael really had a big effect on me in the last couple of years. Ever since I discovered the Majority Report a few years ago, he managed to be both funny and incredibly insightful. I don't know anyone who knew more about global politics than him. Particularly, he centered Latin America and even in particular Brazil. Um, his hero, he got the interview earlier this year, Lula da Silva, and he was a huge advocate for Lula getting out of prison in Brazil. And now Lula is out. And I didn't know about that region of the world. I didn't know nearly as much as Michael Brooks knows or knew. And he just had he was an inspirational figure on the left and in left media. And left media will not be the same without him. There's no replacing him, but I'm emboldened. I'm excited about how much left media is emerging out there on the internet now. Channels coming up all the time. I'm starting to consider possibly doing this regularly, talking about issues that concern the left from taking a left perspective on the political landscape. And I know I've been talking to a lot of people whom Michael Brooks has touched over the years who are distraught right now. And there's a lot of conversation about the loss of hope lately. And I mean, we're in a bad year. This has been a crushing year, especially for the left. Bernie Sanders lost his bid for presidency. We're in this pandemic, all in lockdown. Things look really grim for a lot of people, but I think there's a lot to be hopeful about. I think we've been building a left coalition in Congress with the Justice Democrats. They're starting to win their re-elections this year. In some cases, like like AOC, they're winning by huge margins. So their positions are secure. We're also seeing a new crop of leftist voices who are winning their primaries and some very likely to win their general elections. Paula Jean Swearengin for the Senate. That's a very exciting possible win. Of course, there's Marie Newman, Cara Eastman, Cori Bush, a ton of new voices, Jamal Bowman, just so many. And so I'm feeling like we're in a crossroads. Things are looking grim, but I see hope on the horizon for the left in the United States, hopefully for the rest of the world. And I'm just hopeful that the left can start to find a coalition, build more, start to mend fences, I guess. The left is kind of historically very internally we fight a lot. We all have very specific voices, and when we hear different views that there's a lot of infighting, and I'm hoping that at least some of that can start to be curtailed and we can start to build a real joint movement where some of our differences we can put aside for the greater good, and of course still have standards, not throw them out for the sake of some empty unity, but work together. And I think, if nothing else, I hope the loss of Michael Brooks can help to bring people together, people who have been touched by him and people who have been mm, watching the project that he's been part of for years. Um, yeah, one of the things that I was really taken aback by was on one of I believe on the Majority Report, his Michael Brooks' sister was on, and she talked about how he was really stressing out about what gets called cancel culture. That's a whole other conversation, and it's obviously very um, disingenuously used by the right, but certainly. People on the left, I mean, there's been a great conversation that Ben Burgess, another figure who I've discovered through Michael Brooks, Ben Burgess, a philosophy professor, he's had some videos talking about some of the real concerns about what can unfortunately be called cancel culture. It's not a great term, but um, one thing that has a quote of Michael Brooks's that's come up in the last couple of days that I hadn't heard before that I really like is be ruthless to systems, kind to people. Be ruthless to systems, kind to people. And I think we need to start taking that to heart and try. I mean, I struggle with this all the time, but try to meet people where they are, to the best that we can do, and recognize that our enemy is the systems that are working against us, not the individual people who might be taken in by those systems. um, so yeah, I just wanted to start making videos on YouTube on left politics. I'm thinking if I make one, it maybe will inspire me to make more videos, um, make more of a left voice out here on YouTube to drown out some of the toxic right wing voices that are prevalent all over the internet. Um, yeah, so I think, there's hope on the horizon for the left. And I'm also inspired by um, everything that the other shows on YouTube are doing now. The Majority Report, The Young Turks, the Nomi Key show, the Benjamin Dixon show, Secular Talk, Rational National, and so many others. And yeah, I hope that this is the year that things really turn around for the left in the United States and around the world. And hopefully we can see more and more left victories going forward. Good night, everyone.